Wait, did you think clocks, calendars, and star maps started in Europe or the Middle East? Nah, bro, ancient Africans were already tracking time and charting space, way before it was trending. Like, imagine this, 7,000 years ago, you're standing in the middle of the African savannah, no phone, no compass, no smartwatch. But somehow, your ancestors were building stone calendars that aligned with the stars to the millimeter. Let that sink in. Let's talk about Nabta Playa. Before the Egyptian pyramids, before Stonehenge, there was this mysterious circle of stones sitting deep in the Nubian desert. From the outside, just some rocks in a circle. But if you zoom out, those rocks were a full-blown astronomical observatory. These people were tracking the summer solstice, the stars of Orion's belt, and even marking the beginning of the rainy season, which meant survival. They didn't just vibe with the stars, they used them to live. And here's the part that's gonna twist your brain. The math behind Nabta Playa? It was so precise that modern astrophysicists needed computers to figure out how it worked. But these ancient Africans? They built it with their bare hands, and their minds. Now fast forward to ancient Egypt. They didn't just build pyramids for the flex. The Great Pyramid of Giza isn't just a tomb, it's a geometric miracle. The base? Almost a perfect square. The sides? Aligned nearly perfectly to the 4 cardinal directions, without GPS. And get this, the pyramid's height, multiplied by 1 billion, equals the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Coincidence? Maybe. But you gotta admit, that's spooky accurate. And don't even get me started on the Nile. Egyptians weren't just watching it flow, they were using it to build calendar systems. They noticed the river flooded at the same time every year, right after the star Sirius rose in the sky. So what did they do? They built a 365-day calendar before the Romans even thought about it. Now let's slide over to West Africa. Ever heard of the Dogon people of Mali? These folks had knowledge of a star called Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye, and only discovered by telescopes in the 20th century. But the Dogon? They knew it thousands of years ago. How? Oral tradition says it was passed down. Some even say, visitors from the stars told them. But whether you believe that or not, they measured the orbital period of Sirius B with insane accuracy. That's cosmic connection. But here's where it gets really deep. Time for ancient Africans wasn't just minutes and hours. It was spiritual. It was circular. Life moved in cycles, sunrise and sunset, wet season and dry, birth and death. Time wasn't just tracked, it was felt. In Ethiopia, they even have their own calendar, still used today. It's got 13 months, it's 7 to 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar, and they celebrate New Year in September. And guess what? That system works just fine. Across the continent, time was measured by rhythms. The sound of drums, the length of a shadow, the flowering of certain trees. No ticking clocks. Just a harmony with nature that's been completely lost in the modern world. Even in architecture, African builders used sacred geometry. In Zimbabwe, the Great Enclosure of Great Zimbabwe was designed with spatial awareness that aligned with solar positions and cultural meanings. These weren't just stones thrown together. These were blueprints, encoded with time, direction, and identity. And yet, most of us were taught that African civilizations were just tribal and primitive. No math. No science. No structure. But that's a lie so dusty it belongs in a museum. The truth? Africa had clocks before Big Ben. Calendars before Caesar. And a cosmic worldview that saw humans not as masters of nature, but as part of it. So next time someone tells you Africa didn't have real science, tell them to look up. Because ancient Africans were reading the stars, while the rest of the world was still trying to figure out how to count. And hey, this is just the beginning. Want to hear how Africans mapped the human body before modern medicine, or built tech that defied logic? Yeah. We've got way more stories to tell. Because history isn't missing Africa. It's missing the truth about Africa. And now that you know, what else are you ready to discover?